Now let us have a look at the function of the LED controllers. This is a demonstration board. There are 6 models LED controllers, and for each LED controller we have a on-off power button and a LED strip as a load. So this is a 6 demo board, and then we start with the single color controller N10. I turn on the power. Now I can use the remote to switch off and on, to dim up and dim down, to make the brightness shortcut 100%, 50%, 25%, 10%, and we can make the dynamic mode. So this is a fading in and out dynamic mode. I can adjust the speed. So this is slower, this is faster, and it has also has a basic on-off and on-off function. For the on-off function, we also have the memorize function. So if you switch off from the remote controller and you switch off the main power of the LED controller, and you switch on the main power of the LED controller, it will stay off. And now you have to turn on the strip by remote controller. This is very useful for some installations that there is a power cut. So when the power loose and the power on again, the LED strip will keep the same status as your last operation. So this is basic function of the single color controller N10. Let us go to the second one. This is N11. So N11 is also a single color dimmer. The function is just for dimming, off, on, and brightness shortcut, also dimming up and dimming down. And for all these LED controllers, we applied a new technology. It's called gamma correction. So it's for correct the LED brightness versus human's eye sense, make the brightness more lenient to human sense. So when we dim the LED, the brightness is changing more smoothly and more linear for human sense, for both dimming and on-offs. So you can see a very smooth on-off on the LED light. This is a function for the single color dimmer. Now we go to the handheld remote one. So this is N12. N12 is a handheld remote control dimmer. So the function is quite simple. It's just on, off, dim up, and dim down. So when you hold the dimming, you can see the indicator here is on the controller is blinking. That means it's setting the brightness. When it go to maximum or minimum, the indicator will give a steady yellow. That means it's a limit. This is the basic function of the N12. It's a dimmer with a handheld remote. And now we can add an extreme test on the controller. I just mentioned it has overload or short circuit protection. Now let's have a test. I open the output cap of the N12 controller, and I use a wire to short the output. So this is a very critical situation. Normally it will lead to some problem, the power problem, controller problem, or cable problem. So now let's have a test. I will short the output directly. You heard a spark sound, and you can see the controller indicator flash red. That means it's protected. After 10 seconds, it's recovered and you can operate again. So there's no damage. Let's try again. Short flash. After 10 seconds, it will recover. So for every model, we tested this function before shipment, makes the product very reliable. So this feature is for every model, for every channel. Then we go to the CCT version, or tunable white. This is CCT. The model number is N20. So here's the remote controller. The basic function is for dimming and for color temperature setting. So we have a shortcut of the color temperature. It's warm white. It's too bright. 1 second. Let's go to a proper brightness. Warm white, neutral white, or cool white. Also, you can use left and right key to warmer or cooler. And also you can adjust the brightness, dim down and dim up. For the brightness, we also have the shortcut key, 10%, 50%, 100%. So this is a basic function of the N20 tunable white or CCT version. We also have a feature for the remote controller. So we have a patent technology to match the remote controller to the main unit. So now I have two remote controllers. They look exactly the same, both functional, and only this one, the right-hand one, works with the N20 controller. This one works. When you press the key, it doesn't work with the N20 remote controller. So now I want to use both remote controller for the N20 receiver. The operation will be quite simple. I just need to switch off the power of the controller and switch on again. In 10 seconds, I press these two keys. This color temperature minus and plus together for about 2 or 3 seconds. You just show the indicator flash for a few times. That means the new remote controller is accepted. Now I can use this remote controller with same function of this one. On, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. So both remote work with a controller now. So we can match 5 remote controllers to one receiver, and one remote controller can be paired to any receiver. So this is a very convenient pairing for different model, different remote. We also have a feature for the pairing. Now I have 2 remote controllers to control the one main unit, but I want only use this now. I want the controller forget the right hand one. So now the operation is also quite simple. I switch off the main power of the remote of the receiver and switch on again. Do the same operation to pair this remote controller to the main unit again. I just did the same operation as pairing the new remote controller again, but the same controller. That means paired to the main unit for the second time. Of course, this remote will still work with the receiver, but this one do not work anymore. So that means this operation means just keep me pair the remote controller the second time. The receiver will only recognize the paired remote controller and will forget other remote controllers. It's very convenient for different remote pairing. So this is N20. Then let's go to N30. N30 is our RGB version. This is RGB1. And it has a dynamic mode. Now it's dynamic mode. Dynamic mode up to change dynamic mode, and faster is the speed, or slower. Also, it has a dynamic demo mode. For the demo mode, it will play all the dynamic modes in a circle. And also, it has a static color. We can switch to the shortcut colors, and we can select from the preset colors. There's a color plus and a color minus key to select different color from library, from the preset content. There's also the color brightness adjust, so dimmer or brighter. Basic operation for the RGB1, its model number is N30. This is RGB. And then we go to the RGBW. So for the RGBW version, we can set up white and RGB separately. This is a very important feature. So on the remote, you can see here is a white only, and here is a color only. So you can use a dimmer or use a RGB controller independently. And also you can mix the white and the RGB color. For example, I press the white only. So now the LED is changing to white. I can use that dimmer. Dim up, dim down, it's only for white color. And I can also go to the color only mode. For color only, the white will switch off, and only left the RGB color. RGB. But for some situation, I want RGB and white, they light up together. Now it's only RGB mode, and I can use the dimmer function of white also. So you can mix the white and RGB very flexible. This is our red plus white, and you can mix to some warm white. I can change the RGB color to blue, then you can make it to our cool white. So it's a very flexible mixing of white and RGB. You can mix them together. If you want to use only white or only RGB, it's also quite simple. Just press white only or color only. It also has as a dynamic mode. This is dynamic mode. Its dynamic mode is only for RGB. Different mode plus, mode minus, and different speed. Speed slow down or speed up. So this is a basic function for RGBW controller. So that's the introduction of the Rayrun Nano series LED controller functions. Thanks for watching.